Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today, we're diving right into a real deep dive into the strategies of millionaire real estate investing. And it's a journey that really starts with a powerful mindset shift.
Definitely. Absolutely. It's almost like small money only gets you small results. But when you plan big, when you have those big plans, you're really opening up your potential.
Right, exactly. The idea is that little money might come easy, but big money really demands big plans. And it all revolves around three actions: think, plan, and produce. In a way, it's like the foundation for everything an investor does.
Yeah. So starting off, it seems that many investors have these persistent myths that hold them back. Like, I don't need to be an investor, or investing is too complicated. How do you see that playing out?
Oh, absolutely. The book really takes apart 8 major myths. The first 3 focus on what we think about ourselves, and the remaining ones are about the market. It tells us that if we let doubt and discouragement cloud our vision, we never even get off the starting block.
True. It's striking, really, the idea that if you let the fear of, I can't, or I'm not cut out for this, keep you from acting, you'll only ever limit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. The book explains that not only do personal myths hold you back, but they also color how you see the market. Like thinking that investing is inherently risky prevents you from understanding that with the right strategy, like negotiating favorable terms up front, you actually control much of that risk.
That's a smart way to put it. For sure. And that foundation of mindset segues directly into what the book lays out as the 4 stages of growth. Stage 1, if I'm not mistaken, is all about thinking a million. Can you break that down a bit?
Definitely. Stage 1 is really about the spiritual journey of wealth building. It's about alignment, setting a big why, establishing big goals, and learning to see money not as something that corrupts, but as a tool that amplifies who you are. It's a challenge to think
Exactly.
beyond your current means.
And that big why is essential, right? Like defining why you want to reach that level of wealth, freedom, security, self-actualization, it all plays a part.
Yes, exactly. Once you document that big why, it becomes a guiding force. Additionally, the book stresses habits like maintaining a personal balance sheet, budgeting meticulously, and tracking your net worth every week. It's all about self-accountability.
Yep, MP, it adds discipline. And then it moves into stage 2, buy a million, which is about accumulating assets, right?
Right, stage 2 is all about buying $1 million in assets. It lays out models like the net worth model and the financial model. You learn that investing isn't just about finding a property, it's about understanding cash flow, appreciation, and even how your debt works for you. And then, of course, there's building your network.
Exactly, building your dream team. That part about building a network always strikes me as crucial. It's like you need the right partners, mentors, and even a support circle just to navigate these deals, right?
Absolutely. And the book really emphasizes CTN. That stands for criteria, terms, and network. You see, if you can negotiate with the right terms, grasp the true value of a deal, and have the right advisors to support you, you're already ahead of many who think they can go it alone.
No doubt about that. And this approach lets investors ensure that they're making money right from the start, not just hoping that appreciation will bail them out later.
Exactly. It's about having favorable terms so that your money is already working for you, ensuring a healthy cash flow, and building equity simultaneously. You know, paying attention to details like a 20% down payment, a discount on price, proper mortgage terms. These elements build a framework that minimizes risk.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a solid model. Then comes stage 3, own a million. This is where you shift from simply buying property to really growing and managing your equity, right?
Yes, stage 3 is a deep dive into growing your assets. It's not just about buying right, it's about actively managing what you've bought, negotiating everything from acquisition to disposition, maximizing your net operating income, and even creatively financing property deals.
That's a real evolution from just owning. And the notion of creative financing, like owner financing, lease options, or even syndication, really demonstrates that smart investors think outside the box.
Exactly. They look to maximize every dollar. Even simple things like negotiating early contracts with escape clauses all add up to a more secure hold on your investments. It's a complex dance, but one that pays dividend both in cash flow and in equity buildup.
Right? It's like a delicate balancing act. Then stage 4, receive a million, takes this further by focusing on the unearned income, creating that passive cash flow that liberates you from trading time for money.
Exactly. Stage 4 is about building an organization where your money works for you. The goal is to generate significant annual cash flow, even up to $1 million, through smart acquisitions, scaling operations, and eventually delegating everything to a well-structured team.
Soon you're not even tied down to the day-to-day. In fact, they talk about reaching a kind of 7th level where you can replace yourself with a CEO so that your role shifts to managing leaders rather than micromanaging every detail. Isn't that fascinating?
Yes, it's a transition from managing your time to managing others. It's a full circle moment where your investment empire becomes a business asset generating unearned income, all while you only spend a few strategic hours a week.
Efficiency at its best. What really brings the whole system together, though, is how the book intertwines theory with practice through profiles of 21 real-life millionaire investors. Those stories really ground these concepts in reality, don't they?
Absolutely. They map out journeys from humble beginnings, sometimes starting with barely enough savings or even via a modest property, to building sizable portfolios. Each profile shows different strategies like flipping, buy and hold, wholesaling, and managing large complexes. It's a reminder that there are multiple paths to success, provided you're systematic and focus on the fundamentals.
And every story has its own lessons. Speaking of fundamentals, the book really pushes on practical aspects like lead generation and organization. Tracking every call and meeting, building a robust database for offers. It's almost like a sales funnel for real estate.
Exactly. The 5 laws of lead generation are crucial. Never compromising on your criteria, acting like a savvy shopper, timing your offers perfectly, understanding that it's a numbers game, and being very systematic about it. A well-organized approach to prospecting, whether by phone, face-to-face, or through research, is what transforms potential leads into actual deals.
It's like nurturing a relationship until it converts. And with that, the crucial element of risk management naturally follows. The book argues that great investors don't view investing as inherently risky if you follow sound principles. What do you think about that?
I think it's all about shifting the perspective. If you negotiate well, getting your money in with a margin that covers unexpected costs, you literally take the risk out of the equation. It's that calculated move that makes real estate, when done right, a surprisingly forgiving endeavor.
Calculated and smart. And then there's the aspect of personal discipline, like maintaining your net worth, budgeting, keeping close tabs on expenses, and even protecting your reputation. These are all recurring themes.
Yes, indeed. The advice to always work from written proposals and contracts and to protect both your time and your reputation is highlighted repeatedly. You learn that success isn't just about making the right deal. It's about building consistent, repeatable systems that, over time, yield massive rewards.
Absolutely, systems are everything. So, if we boil it down, the core message seems to be that anyone can succeed in real estate investing if they're willing to adopt the right mindset, follow proven models, and maintain their discipline. Would you agree?
Exactly. The book's central thesis is that the student becomes successful when the teacher, those proven models and systems, arrives. Whether it's through building your personal net worth, developing a tight network, or meticulously generating and tracking leads, the path is clear if you're willing to work at it.
That's empowering. Although I do respectfully wonder, sometimes the advice might seem a bit idealistic. Not every market or context will allow for such clean systems. What are your thoughts on that nuance?
That's a great point.
Yeah,
While
indeed.
the models provide an excellent framework, it's important to realize that each market has its own quirks. The key is in adapting the foundational principles to your local environment, understanding, say, local economic drivers, tenant expectations, or even infrastructure changes. Flexibility, combined with systematized thinking, is what bridges theory and reality.
Totally agree. Adaptation is essential. And it seems like continuous learning is another cornerstone. staying with it long enough to overcome the learning curve until each new lesson compounds into mastery.
Exactly. Constant learning, maintaining accountability through mentorship or peer feedback, and refining your models over time create the foundation for sustained success. The journey is never static. It evolves as you gain more experience.
You really have to be in it for the long haul. In wrapping up, it sounds like the blueprint here is comprehensive. From charting the initial course and debunking myths, through buying and growing assets, to eventually receiving unearned income. It's a blueprint that anyone ready to commit can follow.
Exactly. It's all about commitment, a willingness to learn, and the discipline to follow through on every step. From establishing your base, building a strong network, to systematically generating leads and executing deals. When done right, you can truly transform your financial future.
That's a powerful takeaway. Well, thanks for this engaging discussion. It's been a great deep dive into how a solid framework and mindset can really make the journey from small beginnings to millionaire real estate investing achievable for anyone willing to follow the plan.
Absolutely. Remember, success in real estate isn't about luck. It's about strategy, consistency, and always, always learning. Thanks for tuning in, and here's to building that wealth step by step.
Right on. Cheers to that.